lopsided, whatever. But if I am, it's going to tell me to rotate the screen. Or maybe I should rotate it anyway. Let's rotate. Hi. Hey, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? This is a Wednesday. No, Thursday. This is Thursday. And for some reason, y'all, I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was thinking it was the end of the week. But actually it's not. Well, it is, but it's not. How y'all doing? I've been MIA for a couple of days, but that's all right. I can't get through nothing without getting with y'all. You know this, and you know this. But you know, man, I've been getting some love and comments from people talking about tough love, and also in the reality of my life as well, and all of our lives, we've had to at some point deal with the reality of tough loving somebody that's dear to us. Now, whether you're in a relationship or it's a family member or whatever, tough love is a mother, and it's something that we have to do to get a stronger message out to the one that um is kind of taken for granted. That, you have these situations. Let's talk about family situations. Okay, you have this situation where your mom or dad, and you have a child, which is an adult child, that is having some issues or doing some things they don't need to be doing. And man, and they fall on you. They fall on you for help. They fall on you for money, for situations, sometimes even somewhere to go. And you know that the things that they did or are doing is things that is all bad. They shouldn't be. Example, they could be maybe getting high sometime, or they could be too lazy to go to work for every reason. They want to lay around. They don't want to get their butts up and get a job, or perhaps they just, it's different when someone just can't work because of, you know, medical reasons, mental reasons, whatever. I'm not, I understand. Sometimes situations occur and you just can't. But I'm talking about those who can actually work. But they prefer to just lay around. They prefer to smoke their guns, or they prefer to do they drinky drink. They prefer to just lay on your couch with the remote and do nothing all day and waste their life. And then you become an enabler to the situation because out of love, and the fact that that is yours, a part of you, you do what you do as far as nurturing and helping. But a lot of times that enables a person. So you have to get to a point of the self-love realization, and that is um, sometimes saying no, or going over and beyond. Let's say, for instance, if you have someone that's dear to you, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, child, um, and they are abusing drugs. Everybody knows this, and they are abusing alcohol. Everybody knows this, but they're at a point where they don't want to admit that they have an issue. They're having a hard time admitting. They don't think it's an issue. They think it's a whole lot of other reasons, things, and they just doing what they doing. They grown, and they got it under control. But it's an issue. It's a problem, right? And unfortunately, you can't make a person want to stop. You can't make a person want to change. You can't make a person want to do anything that they don't want to do. And the first step to recovery is admitting, acknowledging that you have a problem. And if you are not at that point, you're running around in circles chasing your tail. You don't want to admit. You want to blame everyone else. If you are at that point, then nothing is going to change. As a matter of fact, it usually gets worse. And if you evaluate, I've known some who do have drinking problems. They are truly alcoholics, but they don't think so. They just think they drink, they grown, they do what they do, they feel good, and this is better than doing, cocaine per se, right? But they have a drinking problem, and what happens is, physiologically, along with psych, mental reasons, they need to have that fix of alcohol. And sometimes you run into the issues of, folks will get the shakes, or they'll get really antsy, they'll get really annoyed, they'll get sometimes angry, violent, temperamental, all that because why? They haven't had that fix. So what that does is it affects those who are in a close circle, close knit to them. It affects them because now you are transferring all those issues and weights onto people who care for you. And if you are enabling that person, you're giving them money to go and drink or even smoke cigarettes. Y'all know, somebody told me cigarettes is over $10 a pack. Only thing they had to do was be over $5, $6 a pack. I was gonna stop if I was a smoker, right? And I remember years and years ago, it probably was about 30 something years ago, when I tried to puff puff and pass and puff puff pass, all that drinking, pinky out, smoking. I thought it was the business. It was cute, it was sexy, and it was just yucky. And I did it for a little while, and it was just something to do to be cool. And then when I started working in healthcare and I started seeing a lot of the effects of smoking that people would come in with all these health issues, emphysema and COPD and lung disease and cancer and what you call that thing where they have that trach, that hole in the throat, and helping them breathe. I mean, I saw a lot of stuff, and I had to weigh and discern if what am I, why am I doing this? What is it doing? I mean, hair was stanky. Y'all see all this hair. So your hair gets stanky, your breath gets stanky, your teeth get brown. I like white teeth, and you just start having these issues that is not attractive. It's not. And now that cigarettes is 10 something, $10 and something a pack, I think someone said they can go in some stores and buy just a cigarette. Let me get a cigarette for $1. Let me get one of them Newports, or 50 cents. 50 cents or $1 for one cigarette. One. And some people can only do that. And they come back and buy one, they get one, they get one. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, you got to get to a point. They got patches, they got stuff they can treat you for. And if you saw a picture of your lungs to see how black and burnt that they probably are looking or will look, you probably would change your mind about a few things. Because after a while, you're not going to be able to walk 10 feet, 5 feet, 2 feet. You ain't going to be able to do nothing unless you got some oxygen to help you breathe. So, the cigarette thing, you giving them money to help. Some people will say, well, they need a couple dollars for cigarettes. Cigarettes ain't bad. That they just need to get that edge off. I mean, you are still helping them with their vices, addictions, right? Now, if somebody needs money to eat, go with them and get them some food. If they got important appointments to get to, doctor's appointments or things of that nature, and need some gas money or whatever, that's something different. But you got to make sure they're actually using the money for that and not going to the store to get the things that make them feel better, right? So we get to this point of self-love. I mean, it's not self-love. Self-love is the bomb. I'm talking about tough love, y'all. Tough love. Not self-love, tough love. So we get to the point of this tough love that we all experience, whether it's with our siblings, or it's with our, our immediate family, or it's with someone that we love, that we're in a relationship with, and so have you. And that's why they have help for us too. Those who are in a situation where you are, you know, being faced with making tough decisions. They have help groups and meetings and support groups and things like that too, that you can go to. I think one for alcohol is Al-Anon or something like that. Al-Anon Anonymous, something like that. But they have, and sometimes these support groups really help, because you got people that's walking down the same path, and they got their stories to share, and they have good advice, and you see that you're not alone, and it helps you along your journey, because you will feel guilty. You will feel guilty for not being there. Lo and behold, something happens to the person, especially in the streets nowadays, where, you may have a loved one where you just can't open your door to have them come stay with you because of the state that they're in. So you refuse to let them stay. They can come visit, they can come get something to eat, stuff like that, but then they got to go, right? And then you feel guilty because it's cold and it's raining and it's wet and it's terrible out here. It's things that can happen to you on the street, but this person is continuously, constantly saying that they good. They don't need no help. They don't need no help. So sometimes you have to put them in situations to determine and see that they do. And you can't help them. You cannot help them. God is a helper, and getting some professional help out here to help you with your addictions, and to be able to use different things and techniques and medications or whatever it may be, change your lifestyle and your surroundings. Because I don't know why, but some will think that everybody's wrong and they're right, and then they'll run and try to run to or deal with those friends or those connections that ain't doing nothing but getting high and drinking, and they run and want to deal and be with them. They old partners. But here they are thinking, okay, I'm trying to get my thing together. I'm trying to be right. I'm trying to stop doing this. I'm trying to stop doing that. But I love homeboy. That's my partner. We grew up together. I'm going to, just chop it up with them. That's wrong thing to do. You can love certain people from afar. You can make a phone call. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Love you. What you been doing? You all right? You good? Family good? Okay. Just touching bases. So, you can even pray for them. Whatever it is, from a distance. But you do not have to position yourself physically around a situation. If you're dealing with drug addiction, why hang out with friends that's all they do is want to get high? And for y'all who think that weed ain't drugs, it is. I don't care what they say. High grow, weed is a drug. Okay. And nowadays, you got to be so careful with I remember we used to be able to go to the corner and buy a little sack or something from whoever. Folks ain't out on the corners like that no more, but you got hookup and connections and certain people you can get to and get what you want. But you got to be careful, you guys, because they got stuff laced. They got stuff that is killing people. You got stuff in it that even the person who copped it didn't even know it was in there. And then they giving it to you, and boom, you didn't drop dead the next day. So you have got to be mindful and careful. The best thing for you is to keep your temple fresh from all of that. You don't need all that stuff. And if you're to the point where you think you do, you need to go get some help. So tough love comes into play when you have to make those decisions to say no. You have to draw lines. You have to say, okay, I can only go this far. I can only give this much, and I'm not going to go beyond that. And if you're not meeting me halfway, doing X, Y, Z to get your together, I can't. Because at the end of the day, if you don't exercise tough love, now I'm not saying, just be mean and honorary and, spiteful towards someone that you love just because. I'm saying Exercise tough love when you know that the things that they're doing is debilitating and that will also bring you down. Because whether you want to accept it or admit it or not, if you allow another that has issues that's so severe and big that you can't do nothing about, but you allow them into your space. You allow them into your life. They're asking you for money all the time. They need food. They need somewhere to lay their head. They just laying around. They're drinking all the time. They're drugging all the time. They're doing all this in your space. It's going to sooner or later stress you out and bring you to a low, new low, low, low. Okay? For real. You're going to go there because your sleep is going to be deprived. Your pockets is going to be lower. You're going to sit up there and sometimes be missing some dollars out your pocket. And you like, well, I know I had $80. What happened to that $80? And you're trying to figure it out. And you're trying to use all these excuses in the world. Maybe I pulled it out of my pocket and it fell in the street. And you come up with all this stuff, right? And all along somebody done nipped you. Somebody done nipped you. And it's a terrible thing. I remember in my house, I had some folks in my house at a time, and I remember, for good luck purposes, I remember my grandmother and them, and they would say, if you have those little elephants, the cute little elephants with the tusks, the little curly tusks there, you roll up a dollar bill and you put it in the tusk, and it's supposed to bring you wealth and good luck and all this kind of stuff, right? When you do that. If y'all didn't know that, yeah, that's one of them old folks' tales. And out of habit, I would always roll up a little dollar and put it in there. And I did it once and the dollar was gone, right? And I'm like, what happened? Did I put that dollar in there? Maybe I did. So I had to put another dollar in there. That dollar came up missing. So I just came up with I said, well, you know what? Somebody taking the dollar. They must have really needed it. They must have really needed it, So you have got to pay attention. You have got to pay attention. There is tough love. Sometimes we can have I have had the biggest love for some folks that has been family, that has not been family. Biggest love, right? And me having the biggest love, I may turn around and say, I just can't, and you feel guilty and you feel bad and you feel like, oh man, I just should not have went there. I should have helped them. I should have. But you knew that you helping them would bring upon a whole lot of other issues. So you made the choice of not. And you do feel guilty. You do feel bad. And it does bring on stress. And for my message today is sometimes you have to exercise the tough love and don't feel bad about doing it. The best thing you could do for anyone that you love and that you support is to be there for them in a positive way. If they need assistance and you helping get them the help they need, be there. If they need some food, you cooked up something, feed them, okay? But giving them money to go out and do X, Y, Z, no. You can't. You don't. Don't do it. Don't do it until they get themselves together. But I got to go, you guys. Thank you for chiming in today. This is Lady D, Donna Smith, your hostess with the mostest. And I will be back on here tomorrow. It is Friday tomorrow, for sure. I know. I'm on track now. It's been a long week, y'all. But I'll be back to talk to you with some more grown folk talk and conversation. Have a great day. Bye.